Psychic abilities are not rare. In fact, you have psychic abilities waiting to activate within you right now. You don't have to be born with a gift or have a long line of ancestors carrying on that gift for you through the DNA. The truth is, it's already in your DNA. You've sensed this, you have felt this in your dreams, in your knowing, literally in your day-to-day sensing. We have got antennas everywhere that are checking into the atmosphere around us, the multi-dimensional self, our spidey radars, our intuition. These are your psychic abilities. And today in this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 most common psychic abilities. And I'm guaranteeing that you're going to have at least 2 or 3 of these that you are actively working with in your everyday life. I'm going to share with you in this video the number 1 myth that we are being told that is stopping us from accessing our gifts as a collective. And I'm going to take you through my 4-step psychic process to help you to activate these gifts faster than ever before. Hello, my name is Victoria Bond. I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual empowerment coach, and I am the medium that brings you things that other mediums will not. I want to literally pull back the curtains, take away the fluff, and show you the gifts that you have within you right now. We are not here to externally try to grab. We are here to access our very own birthright, our psychic abilities. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is, what is psychic abilities? We know we've got the 5 senses. We've got taste, smell, sense, hear, and vision, of course. But what is beyond that? What is the 6th sense that we speak about? Well, the first thing I want to let you know is there's not just a 6th sense. There's a 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. I mean, there's so many senses that we can access. And when we access those senses, we are tapping into our psychic abilities. This is something that we have known for eons and used, but with technology and with all this conditioning and programming and focus on the human and not the spiritual senses of ourselves, we have really dulled down our very own abilities. And maybe that's why you're here watching this video. So I'm so excited to bring this to you because I'm going to share with you an activation which has light language, it has sound and coding within it that is going to help your DNA to awaken to the very own gifts that you already have. It's all within you. We are a tribe, we are a community, we are a race, and we all have access to the supernatural abilities. When we sense beyond our senses, come into presence and allow ourselves to perceive and receive. So let's get into today. The 7 most common psychic gifts. I love telling my clients about this because the thing is, we are a whole ecosystem and we're going to be stronger in some skills than we are in others. But the truth is, we can create any skill. We are very multidimensional as beings. Now, 10 years ago, when I was starting my journey in psychic abilities and mediumship and all of these things that were so foreign to me, they were kind of like, stay away from it, like it's not good, don't dabble type of thing, keep your psychicness to yourself. My great-great-grandmother was like, shh, we give it up to the church. We don't go, bragging about these things. So we kept it all really kind of quiet. But the funny thing is, I didn't think I had any gifts. I thought I had skipped a few generations, right? Now I know it's not a generational thing as much as it is a human thing. And my awakening happened slowly but very quickly. Okay, yes, very much a paradox there. It happened slowly and quickly. When I look back over the year that I was awakening, I started tuning into these common senses that I want to share with you today, these psychic gifts. I started tuning into beyond the 5 senses and into the psychic senses, and I was like, holy shit, what have I been missing out on? Now, the one thing that will hold us back is fear. And I want to talk about this more with you. Fear, conditioning, the people pleaser. The fear is literally the umbrella for all of the things that are holding us back from tuning into our psychic senses. But what I did was I tuned into my very own heart. And I didn't try to convince or persuade. I didn't try to meet any expectations. I came in with curiosity. And here we are, many years later, my whole business, Magnificent Mediumship, is built on psychic abilities, on mediumship, on consciousness, and all the things that go with it. It is beyond the five senses, but should I say it's with the five senses and beyond. So, are you ready to tune in to see what gifts you already have and feel the spark and the intuitive nudge into what it is that you would like to dive into next? Because you can access all of these clairs if you so choose to, if you are willing to be an allowance of the gifts that God, the universe creator, your higher self, is desiring to give to you. So number one is clairvoyance. Clear seeing. And this brings me a couple of stories of how we can see so differently. We have this perspective usually that seeing is with our eyes, or maybe seeing a vision in our third eye. And we always feel like it's external and not of us. But my very own experience of seeing from my very first reading was my greatest imagination. And if this is all you take from this video, is your greatest imagination is actually a psychic ability, then my job is done. But stay with me because I've got a lot of more golden nuggets through here, and we're going to do a visualization together so you can practice your clairvoyance abilities, right? Because you've already got this within yourself because you've got vision. So my very first reading, put down the cards and just went, what do I see? And I literally saw a man and I saw children, and I saw like this movie playing out right in front of my eyes. And I was like, I don't even know what this means. This is kind of crazy. Told the sitter, the person that I was practicing the reading on, and she said, oh my God, that's so accurate. When I actually said, are you lying to me? I can't just think something and imagine something and it be real. And she was like, that was completely super accurate. And I just could not believe it. It just blew my mind. Another a story that I have is my brother and actually my sister. They've had very similar experiences when they're lying in bed at night and they open their eyes, something like makes them open their eyes, and they can see in their mind's eye someone's sitting at the end of the bed. Have you ever had an experience like that or heard of someone having an experience like that? So we can see with our eyes, we can see with our imagination, we can see flashes in our dreams, we can see in our meditations and our visualizations, we can see 111s, and we can see colors, and we can see like all sorts of things. And sometimes they don't make sense. Your clairvoyancy does not have to make sense. It is information, it is data coming to you in the form of the frequency that you are at to connect in with spirit and the messages that they have for you. Now, often a mistake that we make when it comes to mediumship, and I don't know about you guys, so let me know, a mistake is thinking that spirit, thinking that a grandparent or a loved one is just going to show up and go, hello, I'm okay, and I love you. And they're going to be kind of like in our 3D form, maybe holographic. I always visualize it going to be holographic and like, woo, kind of like transparent. But that's just simply not how it works out for most of us. When I'm connecting to my grandparents, when I'm connecting to spirit, when I'm connecting to your loved ones in readings, I use all my clairs. I use all my senses. I can get the little prickles on my arm, or I can feel my emotions. I can feel the feelings. I just know if someone is there supporting the reading. And sometimes I do get the visions. I'm like, oh, and sometimes, this is so crazy, I will see the hair, and then I'll see the clothes, and I'll see the height of the person. And if it's a really proud person, I'll be seeing someone and I'm like, whoa, they're really tall, but maybe they're just proud and they stand tall. Sometimes I see the colors that they loved or the expressions on their face, and I ask to see more and more and more, and it paints a picture for me. Never with my eyes, always in my imagination. And the thing that I do that makes me so successful when I'm using my clairvoyance abilities is I allow the picture to unfold like a movie. This is clairvoyance. This is allowing your greatest imagination to expand. And not everybody is super in tune with this clair. And unfortunately, this is the biggest thing that is stopping people from being the best mediums and psychics ever, is because they think they don't have the gift because they don't see. but maybe it's just not the strongest skill. So I'd love to know from you. Do you see with your eyes? Do you see with visions? Do you see in meditations or dreams or flashes? Do you see in the third eye? Do you see things around you in the corner of your eye? Sometimes I see smoke and I'm like, did I just see smoke? It's really, really interesting. So clear. This is definitely one of the most common, but also it's a little bit of a tricky one because often it stops us from going any further because we feel like to be psychic, you've got to be clairvoyant. It's simply not true because there's so many other ways to do it. Two, clairaudience, clear hearing. So we can hear things. Like, have you ever heard your name? So I've literally heard my name, Victoria, in the middle of the night, and I've sat up and gone, huh? Did someone just call my name? That's clairaudience. Or the popping. Okay, so real common, and I thought I was going nuts. When this was happening to me years ago, when I was awakening all of these clairs at once, that's how it felt. I felt like I was kind of going a bit nuts. I was like, this is really intense. I was getting downloaded like the Matrix every single night. And I was getting these ear poppings or that the really, really high pitch. Okay, so this is us attuning to the frequency that we need to be to connect in with spirit. So the high pitch toning, tuning in, and the ear pops. So quite often I just get ear pops like there was water in my ear. This was happening to me for months. The other thing is songs. Okay, so the continuous playing of a song, they call this an earworm. For me, I would just play the same song in my head, the same part of the chorus for like 2 weeks straight. Again, I had loose boundaries when it came to my spiritual awakening, and I wasn't sure what was happening. So the ear popping and the high pitched sound and the song going around and round and the sleepless nights and the visions and all these things were compounding, making me feel like I was losing control. But we're breaking this down, so we're going to make it easy. If you have ear popping, if you have the high pitched sound or the songs, you can literally say, stop, thank you, I got it. Take a little note down. What is that song? What are the lyrics? Okay, thank you. I always say thank you. If you ever watch me doing any lives, I'll quite often go, thank you, because I'm like, okay, I got the signal. That's cool. Thanks so much. I didn't know that I could say thank you, and I didn't know it had anything to do with spirit. I thought there was something wrong with my ears. Okay, so this is clear hearing. You can also hear through vibration. This happens when we are channeling. So clairaudience is very common with channels that are channeling from galactic collectives, channeling extraterrestrials or spirit. Because what is happening is it's not the voice that we are hearing from the entity, it is the vibration, and it is literally translating within our brains and coming out our mouth. Okay, so channeling is very connected to clairaudience. And this is one that I really, really love. One of my sisters, she is very clairaudience. So she would hear babies crying in the night. She works with babies that have passed over. She works with their mothers, and she's very niched as a medium in that area. So she would hear babies crying, and she would hear like people in different languages speaking, and she would just hear this with her ears. So again, just like clairvoyance, you can with your eyes or with your inner eye, or with your ears or with your inner ear. So that's clairaudience. Clairsentience. Okay, so this is the third one, and this is for all of us empaths. Okay, so if you're an empath, let me know. Give me a 111. I feel you. Let's call on the angels. So clairsentience, the clear feeling. This is going to be a dominant clear for empaths. So for me, I can literally, when I first started doing readings, I would feel the person that I was reading for, the sitter, I would feel them, and I'd feel spirit coming through, and I would just be like, I'm sorry, I'm just feeling all these feelings. And I was trying to keep my shit together. It took me quite a while to realize they weren't my emotions. So when you are clairsentient, you're going to sense, you're going to be an empath, you are going to feel the freaking feels. And one of my siblings, I'm referring to my siblings a lot today, we're a bunch of psychics here. So one of my sisters, She channels very much of the galactic. Okay, so one works with babies and humans and Reiki and all the things and does everyday type of readings for people. And the other one is like a channel and works with the body and she works with the galactic. And she's just like turned up her abilities. So she just has tuned them and expanded them. And she has been through magnificent mediumship twice. And she said that her channel is so in tune right now that it's like she's holding that capacity and she's feeling the feelings of the person that she's reading for or working for or channeling for, right? She's working on their body. And she said it's like a lot. So she expands her energy to hold whomever she's working on, and she's attracting these incredible clients that are having the deepest healings through different dimensions, but also past lives in the Akashics, and she can feel it all. She can feel what they've been through. She can feel them. She can feel the spirits that come with them. And this is a true empath. An empath feels the other person. And it's very important to not let that take you away into fight, flight, or freeze, because this will hold you back. If you think, oh my God, there's all these feelings, I can barely hold it, and you're having an emotional release and you're getting really intense and you're not able to hold that or realize that it's not yours, it can be quite devastating. And I don't know about you, but you probably know somebody who's so empathic, so sensitive that they freeze. They go into fight, flight, or freeze. Maybe you've been that way. I know I have been, where I just couldn't handle going out into society because I could feel everybody's feelings. So, if this is you, I want to give you a little tip right now. Who does this belong to? Return to source consciousness. And I want to really give you that tip, okay? This was not a part of what I wanted to share with you today, but I feel you if you're an empath. Let me know if you're an empath in the chat. I would love to know. I feel you. You are clairsentient, and this is a powerful clair to have. It is definitely my strongest clair, and it's what I use all the time because I can feel other people's feelings. So I observe myself and I see myself as the mirror. If you are clairsentient, you're a mirror for those that come around you. And you must realize that when you leave that person, they need to take their energy with you or you transmute it, because it's not for you to carry them. And I quite often say to my clients that clairsentient, I say, don't carry other people's crosses. You can help work with them while you're working with them, but then let it go, transmute it, or return it to source consciousness or to sender, because it's not yours to carry. But the clairsentience, the clear feeling, is giving you data to help the person that you are with. So I'm really curious, is this one of your dominants? How do you feel about this? Do you know somebody who is clear feeling, clairsentience? Claircognizance. Okay, so this is the fourth one. And I want to say, I think most people are claircognizants if they allow themselves to be present enough to tune into their knowing. This is clear knowing. Okay, my husband is very claircognizant. He just knows stuff. How do you know that? You don't even know how you know that. I've got friends that I'll ask them a question and they'll just spit out all these things. And I go, how do you know that? And they go, I don't know. I don't know where the information came from. This again is a really good channeling one, because we only know so much because we like literally bring in so much information and it just goes through us, but it stores into our subconscious, of course, and can come out when we need it. And we are spiritual beings that is constantly taking in information, and we've got past lives. So past lives, soul streams coming through. Claircognizance is all about the deep knowing. Now, my husband one day was like, we're going for a picnic. And I was like, okay. I said, where are we going? He goes, we're going to go out to this place. We're going to go onto the top of the hill. We're going to look at the view. I said, well, why don't we go to the beach? He goes, no, I want to go to this place. And I went, okay. We went there. We pulled out our food and we looked up and we all saw, my children and my husband and I, we saw an open home flag just across from the car park. We all went, oh my God. Put the food back into the bags, put it in the car and went straight into the open home. Stood there And literally the kids ran off, and they're very beautiful, polite kids, but oh my God, they just ran off and they said, I claim this room, I claim this room. And my husband had a big smile on his face. And I was looking around, I was like, what is happening here? And my daughter came up to me and she said, this is our new house, Mummy. And I literally couldn't believe it. He said to me, I just knew we had to go for a picnic at that time in that spot. It was a knowing, it was a pull. I can't explain it. We are in that house right now on top of that hill with our beach views everywhere. This house is a 2-story house. It's got our 2 offices. It's got plenty of space. It is a 2-minute walk from the beach. It's exactly what we had been calling in. It's exactly what we had been manifesting. And Luke, my husband, knew. He had a knowing. He's done this many times in the last 25 years that we've been together. Claircognizance is a knowing deep within your soul. It's an intuition. It is a gut. So if you are a generator or a manifest generator, you're going to have this gut knowing all the time. And that is how you're going to perceive through the sacral if you're into human design. It is a knowing. It is a gut. And in my husband's case, I always say, what do you know about that? So that's my little tip here for claircognizance. What do you know about that? What do you know? And I use this in coaching. A lot of coaches use this as well. When somebody is feeling uncertain about what they're doing, where they're going, what their path is, because there's too much noise going, I say, what do you know about that? Because our knowing goes so much deeper than what we are consciously thinking, what we are cognitively thinking. It goes so much deeper into our cells, into our vessel, the DNA, sensing beyond the 5 senses. Claircognizance. This is a great one. I would love to know how this one resonates with you. And here's the thing, the last thing I want to say about claircognizance is we ignore it like anything because we're trusting what people are telling us or what we're hearing, what we're seeing. But there's always a knowing, there's always an intuition, there's always a gut. So let's get on to the next one. Channeling, of course, definitely my fave. Channeling comes in so many shapes and forms. And the way that I've experienced it the most is when it comes down and it lands within my body, layer by layer by layer by layer. And I'm going to do a special activation for you today so you can feel and see what I'm doing when I am channeling. Channeling can come in the form of writing, of dancing, of light language. It can come in the form of painting. It can come in the form of creation of, oh my gosh, it can come in all the forms, okay? It can come in all the forms of the 5 senses of the body, and of course beyond the body, into the spidey radars, into the antennas, into all the things that we are creating in our reality as a collective and as an inner matrix being. Channeling is one of those things that if you get out of your way, you create the space. I always do this when I'm talking about portals. We get out of our way, we create the space within the portal, and we channel through whatever needs to come through. It can come through in a whisper, it can come through in an intuitive hit, depending on your blueprint and how you perceive, of course. But you've channeled before, and I can prove it, okay? So maybe you're already a channeler if you're watching this, but have you ever spoken to a friend and all of a sudden things just coming out and you're like, oh, sorry, I'm going into a riff right now. I'm going into a rant, or I don't even know what just came out in that 30 minutes. I just couldn't stop talking. And they say, oh my God, thank you. You always so know how to help me. Where did that even come from? Often you're channeling your higher self. So who are we channeling? Higher self, angels, ascended masters, soul streams. So where you are currently working in different galactic collectives. Maybe you go into your Akashic records and you're pulling through information that you already know about from a completely different life. Channeling has got many, many different nuances. It has got many different layers. It is the umbrella for who you be and what you do. And when I first saw an entrepreneur saying, I am a channel, I was like, I don't understand what that means. And then as I was watching her speak and talking, I was like, oh my God, we're all channels. So each and every single one of you No matter what your dominant clair is, one of your dominant clairs is channel, because we are continuously channeling. Now it's up to you with how deep down that rabbit hole you want to go, whether it's light language or whether it's art or writing or anything like that. It's up to you how you do that. But channeling is who you be. And I freaking love it. Now, this is a thing that we are told to literally stay away from as well, because it's like if you're channeling, you could get possessed. You've got to be careful. And here's what I want to say about that. Your power is your greatest protection. To know spirit is to know self. And in this activation we're going to do very shortly, I'm going to share with you how I keep myself protected and light and strong and in my power, because we're going to do this together. So I want you to claim this now, and maybe do it in the chat box if it feels good for you. I am a channel. Now, I am a channel. I am a channel. Not I'm going to be a channel. I am a channel. I want you to really anchor that in. So share with us so we can witness. I am a channel. And I invite you to say it out loud as well. I am a channel. And at first it might feel a little bit weird and wonky and crazy and like, okay, am I going a little bit too far here? But when I realized after getting the evidence, the borrowed evidence from this coach, I am a channel. I'm a channel. Everything I speak is channel. And it's obvious when I go into a channel because I'm not in my head, I'm in my heart. That's the number one clue to know if you are channeling. Precognition is the sixth one. So this is tuning into future timelines. This is when we feel like we can predict the future, or we can feel and see different pathways. Now, I use this in every day with my clients or potential clients. So I can literally look at someone and go, oh, there's their highest timeline. So that is actually one way that we can do this precognition. A more extreme version of it is seeing a car accident or feeling a car accident. We can feel in our body if something's going to happen, like 5 to 6 seconds before. Our brainwaves change. Our body has some type of reaction to it before the event has even occurred. So we all have access to this. But of course, like humans, because we are humans, we go to the extreme of, I don't want to know the future, because if I know the future, then what am I going to do? I'm going to have to warn every single person of somebody's spirit here. I'm going to have to tell the person that they're here to give a message. It seems like a whole lot of fucking work if you ask me. Now, for me though, when I'm using this in business, I'm like, wow, if this person comes to me, I can see their future timelines. I can share with them the highest potential and the closest timeline for them to create magic. So that's a really great way of using it. When it comes to accidents or anything like that, or spirit coming to me wanting me to give their loved one a message, then I say, yo, spirit, this has to be made easy for me because I have a human life as well. I've got children, I've got a life, I've got a client, I've got a business. So spirit makes it really easy for me. So a good example is when Emma, who I call my spirit girl, she was coming to me for the first year of my awakening, and she was sharing with me all of these clairs and all of how to utilize these senses that I have and bring them to the world. And I'm just going to share something with you right now. Is I feel like there's little cobwebs on my face. If this ever happens, it's an electric magnetic field of us tuning into a different dimension and different spirits. So just letting you know, so I'm touching my face right now. It feels like little cobwebs, little tickles and a little itchy nose. This is what happens when we're tuning into our psychic abilities. I'm curious if you have any symptoms that happen like this. So anyway, Emma comes to me. She's showing me these things and she starts saying, I really want you to connect to my mum and talk to my mum and let my mum know I'm okay. And I'm like using all my clairs to sense this, to translate this. I can sense it, I know it, clairsentient, clear knowing, clairaudient. It's all these clairs. I'm like, whoa, this is a lot. I'm seeing feathers in my eyes, all the things. And I said to her, okay, but you have to make this happen effortlessly because I'm busy. I've got these 2 little kids, a business. It was big. I was a hairdresser. And I was looking after the family home full time as well. And she was like, okay. And I said, give me 3 signs really, really quickly. Like within the next hour, I was like, I'm not mucking around because I didn't want to do it. I don't want to tell someone that I had her dead daughter here to pass on a message. That to me felt like I don't want to mess with anybody. Like I felt like that was a real scary thing, to do. So as soon as I had this little meltdown and I was saying, fine, give me 3 signs, the phone rang. And on the end of it, this client, a hairdressing client, goes, hey Victoria, it's Emma here. I just want to book in to get my hair done. I was like, sure. And I was like, Emma. That's a name, right? Holy shit. And then I was like, okay, before I start work, because it was early in the morning, I said to my husband, I've got to go down to the shop to get some milk. So I'll be back in a minute. So I hop in the car and I was thinking, there's no way before I start work I can get these 3 signs. Just absolutely no way. So I jump in the car and I'm going to get milk. And I walk past a furniture shop and I hear Clairaudience, stop. What? I turn and I look into the furniture shop and I see this baby pink duvet with monarch butterflies all over it. Baby pink was her favorite color. I knew this, and monarch butterflies, well, that was one of her signs because they were constantly around me and I knew they were connected to Emma. I couldn't believe it. I took a photo and I nearly threw up. I was like, it's 2 signs. Oh no. And this time I'm walking around like with blinkers on, like, no, don't show me, don't show me, don't show me. And then the 3rd sign. I had been going into these shops and seeing these cute little fairies in every little shop that I went to, like these literally like little like ornaments. And it was like, go in and buy the little fairy. And again, clairaudient. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go in and buy the fairy, Emma. I probably don't have any money. And I was like, fine, I'll go in. And if this shop is open, and if I've got the money, I'll buy the fairy. And yes, and then I'll give it to your mum. And I was like, the chances are so slim this is going to happen. Okay, 3 signs within an hour from a spirit to talk to the mum that's left behind. The daughter's passed on. This is just not going to happen. But I'm talking about precognition here. So this is me literally pacing into the future with what spirit is telling me to do. And I was like, only if it's easy. And I was off to get milk anyway. So she made sure everything was put in my path, right? So I go into the shop that my car is parked outside of because it's open. And there's a little fairy, little fairy angel thing, holding a little bouquet of pink flowers, baby pink flowers. I open my wallet and I have just the right amount of money. I go up to the counter feeling ever so goofy and embarrassed. I pay for it. Thanks. Kind of like putting a hoodie on, just like, what am I doing? I hopped in my car and I said, okay, there's one final thing to do. I need to ring Emma's mum. And if she's available, I was making it really hard for spirit. Sorry, Emma. Because she gave me all the tools I needed to awaken my gifts so I can bring MM and YouTube videos to everyone, right? I rang up Jude and I said, Jude, are you available to come over to my house? She said, I'm busy. And I said, that's fine. It's all good. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. And she goes, actually, no, I can come now. Yeah, I can come now before I head off into town. I went, okay, I'll see you in a minute. I race home and I say to my husband, you need to take the kids into the bedroom. Jude's coming over. And he said, why? And I went, I can't tell you. I hadn't told him any of the stuff that had been going on for like a year. And all I had told him was I had been thinking about her and I wanted to give her gifts. And like I would tell her these things and he goes, wow, that's a little bit weird, but whatever. You're a kind-hearted person, right? And so he goes into the room with our little babies and Jude comes over and she said, what's the news? Are you pregnant? And I was like, no, but you better sit down. Made her a cup of tea and told her everything that had been happening to me in the last year. But mostly the signs that had got me there that day to give her a message from her daughter who had passed away. And when I had gave her that little angel fairy ornament as many years ago, I gave it to her and she broke down in tears and she said, this says everything. This says everything. And she still didn't tell me exactly what it meant to her, but I know that it meant something very, very deep to her. Now, I know that sounds like it was a big journey, but really it was quite simple. Spirit was telling me this was something I could do. I had already visualized what was going to happen when I talked to Jude. But I said to Spirit, you got to make that easy, because I'm not here to be chasing. I'm not here to go, by the way, can I talk to you? No. And I really did owe Emma a big favor, because she had helped me so much in my awakening when I felt like I was going crazy. So that's one way that this precognition can work. And another way is getting that spidey radar not to hop in the car. I have a friend and she said, I just get this energy now not to go on a trip and then there's a car accident. One day she ignored that and she was in a car accident. She said, I'll never again not trust my instinct. Precognition is instinct, but it goes beyond that. It goes into future projections. It's predictions. And we all have this, because when we go beyond, and just like I was showing you with that little kind of spider webby over my body right now, we're accessing a different energy, a different system. The spidey radar, cobweb, spidey radar, accessing beyond the veil. Spirit is here, right here, and we can access them. It's not up there or down there or over there or over there. It's right here, and we can access this communication with our skills. We can access the visions. We can access all of it. We can see future timelines. We can do remote viewing. We can go deep into ourselves. So what is the seventh one? And then we're going to do this meditation. So the seventh one is energy healing. Again, this is something that might be your dominant gift. We are energy healers. Now, as a Reiki master, I can tell you, we are always simply facilitating other people's healing. So I like to call myself an energy shifter. So I am manipulating and moving and shifting energy and flowing energy to those if they so shall choose to receive it. So a lot of people say to me, but hey Vic, can I do healings or entity clearings or energy shifting or readings or whatever on people if they're not aware of it? And I'm like, yes. If you talk to their higher self, you must get permission. And to do that, I say, if they so choose to receive it. Okay. So transmitting light through your body. How do we do this? Well, you do this all the time. Now, some people do it better than others, and that is purely on intention. So when we're coming into a meditative state, when we're using sound and light and breath and connecting, we drop our barriers, we connect to our breath, we expand our energy, we root down, we expand up, 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 up and around, and we come into gratitude. Coming into gratitude and acknowledging this incredible human body and all that she, he, be, knowing that you're a spirit and a soul and a body is absolutely magical. It is phenomenal. And the more you get out of your brain, this is the key code for this, the more you get out of your brain and you come into your heart. Now, is this one of your dominants? I would love to know. Do your hands heat up? Do you get tingles through your body? Okay. And you can see how these clears all kind of mesh as well. So clairsentient, clear knowing. Don't get confused. It doesn't matter because you've got all of these abilities, just like you've got hands and feet and arms and legs. And, you know, we need this whole ecosystem. And some parts you will be stronger than others, and that's just because of pure practice and your natural ability and skill set for these. So transmitting light is natural. And we do this from knowing that human beings work through osmosis. You are who you hang out with. You are literally the average of the 5 people you hang out with. We say this in life coaching all the time. We say this in coaching, full stop. And that is because you literally pick up on people. You're working with people and their auras. You are a healer. You are an energy shifter. and you will know it. And you may even feel, so some of the symptoms, if you will, I'd feel my heart open and like beaming. And like everywhere I'd go, I'd just feel like my heart was beaming and super expanded and open. My fingers were tingling, like beams of light coming out. I'd feel my third eye tingle and the top of my head tingle as well. And light language would start coming out. Now, energy healing happens in many different forms and ways. And one thing we can do is we can play with the energy between our hands, with the chi, with the life force. And we can notice, and you might even notice if I'm doing this right now, I'm bringing the energy up and down your body. We can access each other's energy systems with permission. And we can give people energetic hugs, and we can use our thought to transmit ideas. This is how we get ideas. This is how we get downloads. We are psychic beings. We are energy beings. And you are an energy healer. How does this feel for you? Let me know. Okay, so next we are going to get into this beautiful activation. So I'd love to know what has resonated with you so far. What is the thing that you feel like you're really quite good at, or you feel like there's potential that you want to dive into it more? Before we do this beautiful activation, I just want to share with you this number one myth that holds people back from accessing their psychic abilities. They don't even try to explore them because they feel like that they weren't born with them. And you either have the gift or you don't, which is the biggest myth of all. The biggest thing that is holding people back is the fear. The fear of being different, the fear of disappointing, the fear of expectations if they do access the gift. It's not fear of failure that we're afraid of the most. It's usually fear of success and what that means when we come out of the safety bubble of what we have been conditioned to do and be. So, are you ready to unleash where we have been stuck because of conditioning or programming, and really ignite your gifts that are literally your birthright? Let's get into it right now. Take a nice deep breath all the way down to your belly, filling up your belly and allowing yourself to come into relaxation. Breathing out and relax deeper into the space, the place of where you be. We will quiet our mind by dropping our barriers now and bringing the energetics of the head, the busy mind, into the heart to be transmuted and transformed. That's it. Dropping your barriers down, 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 and allowing the intuitive whispers to come through your senses. There's nothing you have to do or be other than breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Relaxing, bringing the roots down into the earth to ground down. Dropping your barriers and coming into your heart space, feeling the gratitude for this time and space, for your abilities, all that you be. Expand, expand, expand. Beautiful. Connecting into your body, connecting into the nervous system, healing the nervous system, breathing in for the count of 3, holding for the count of 3, breathing out for the count of 3, holding for the count of 3. Let's do this again. Breathing in for the count of 3, 2, 1, holding for the count of 3, 2, 1. Breathing out for the count of 3, 2, 1. Holding for the count of 3, 2, 1. That's it. And just equalizing your breath. And I'm going to invite you now to do a body scan. And if you feel that there's a space in your body that is crunchy, that is stiff, that has a shadow or a darkness, or is just feeling uncomfortable and dense, I want you to breathe light into that space. Breathe in peace and light, and breathe out any stress or tension. Breathing in light, caressing any parts of your body that feel stiff or stuck, energetically or physically. Maybe you want to move your body in that space as well to transmute that energy, to transform that energy, and you're breathing out any stress or tension. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Breathing in deeply. Holding at the top. Third eye gaze. Lift your head slightly to open the throat chakra. And breathing out. Relaxing, coming into a deep, deep relaxation. And I want you to notice the taste in your mouth. I want you to notice what you can see behind your eyelids. What can you smell through your nostrils? What can you hear with your ears? What can you sense and feel on your skin? Bringing all these senses alive and feeling the gratitude for these senses within your body. And now, I want you to go beyond the body. We're grateful for the body, we feel the body, we've got the body. We are embodied. And now I want you to go beyond the body. You are rooted down, you are safe and guided, loved and protected. What can you sense on the outside of your body? Starting with the outside of your skin and then expanding an inch out. And then another inch, and then another inch, 1 meter out, 2 meters out, 3 meters out. Maybe you're feeling into things around you. Is there anything 3 meters out that your aura can sense? What can you sense beside you, in front of you, above you, behind you, below you? And just taking a moment to sense what you sense. Can you see behind you? Can you see above you without moving your head, without using your eyes? Noticing what you notice. Are you ready and willing to open up your clairsentience, your claircognizance, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your healing abilities, and your channel? Are you ready and willing to expand into all parts of you and who you truly be? Are you willing to be an allowance of the gifts that you already have within your DNA? Are you ready and willing to be in the allowance of activating these beautiful parts of you, your psychic abilities? I am willing and ready to be in the allowance of my own gifts. Repeat after me. I am willing and in allowance of receiving my very own gifts and activating my psychic abilities. I am ready to receive from the highest frequency vibration of the true white light for the highest good of myself and all of those around me. Breathing in love and breathing in light. Breathing out any stress or tension and allowing any old karma, any old patterns, any old cycles, anything old that you've been holding on to transmute, transcend, and transform right here in this space, allowing the energy to go down through your body into the earth to be transmuted. And now opening your crown, visualizing a white light flooding in through, healing and upgrading your vessel. A little bit of light language will come through to help you out here. And if any information comes through, just allow it to come through in perfect divine timing. This may activate your very own light language, and if you feel like speaking in this channel, then feel free to do so from the highest vibrations and frequencies for the highest good of all around you. These codes will continue to work with your energy system for the next few days, so allowing yourself to be receptive and willing to be in the allowance of your very own gifts. Breathing in deeply all the way down to your toes, breathing out and allowing yourself to expand. Feeling grateful for this experience that you have landed on, that you have chosen today. And I want you to gently start to return to your body. Returning to the body and the room, staying expanded, noticing what you notice. And I want you to come back to your senses now, to your taste. Notice the saliva in your mouth, notice the swallow, to what you can see behind your eyelids. What can you smell? What can you hear? What can you feel? Just bringing yourself back completely, totally to your body, to the space, staying expanded. Wriggling your fingers and your toes, and when you're ready, blinking your eyes open. And just noticing how you feel. Welcome back. How did you enjoy that light language? Did you feel the codes coming through you? Sometimes we can feel like, oh, this is strange, this is weird. We can get a sense. Maybe it was a knowing. Maybe you could see something or hear something. Maybe you channeled something, or maybe your energy systems. The light started with your heart or your hands. I'm really curious what's come through for you today. So feel free to let me know in the chat. Let us know. So the truth is, your psychic power is not a performance. It's a way of being. It's a presence. And you have got all of the abilities that we've spoken about today. Some of you stronger than others in different areas. But this is a beautiful thing because we can strengthen our skill sets. And today what we've done is we've activated different parts of you on a cellular level. We've cleared space. We've opened portals. We've spoken about what these things may mean, and some of the myths, some of the things that are holding us back from accessing it, some of the limitations, the mistaken beliefs that we may carry consciously or unconsciously. This has been such an honor bringing this to you today. Please be gentle with yourself. Drink water, go have some grounding outside, eat some nourishing food, and know over the next 3 days you're going to keep shifting and changing. You can listen to this as many times as you like. I'm so grateful that you're here. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a beat with all the trainings that are coming out here. Make sure you share with somebody if you feel like this would benefit them. And of course, you can find me. You can check out all the notes below. If there's something that you want to go into deeper, we've got the YouTube videos. We've got different ways that you can work with me. I'm just so grateful that you were here today learning about your very own abilities. Until next time.
Namaste.